Good morning. Welcome back to the Chipola Coaches Show. I'm head coach women's basketball Mitchell Rolls. Today, got our repeated guest here, Taylor Rietveld, coming in. We're about done with the first round of conference here, so we're 3-0. We've got one more game in conference, so we're in a good spot. We're sitting at the top of the league right now. Big game coming up tomorrow at number 4 in Northwest Florida. A tough place to play. Last time we played there, obviously, was a state title game, so they're going to be excited to play us. We're excited to play them. And then, you think about the ramifications within the conference. It's going to be a big game, not just in the conference, but nationally, especially when you take in the fact that, this week's national polls, they've got us at number 1 in the country. 18-1. We had a big win against Tallahassee the other night, so they decided to move us up to the 1 spot. And then, just like I said, Northwest Florida is number 4 right now. So top 5 matchup tomorrow. With big implications for the rest of the season and obviously the national tournament. So talk about the Tallahassee win the other day. I think we really needed home court advantage to get that win. We shot it well. We played really well offensively. Defensively, which has kind of been our backbone this year, probably didn't do our best job. The defense struggled. We gave up 81 points. I believe it was 44 at halftime, which was a season record for us in a bad way. So, but a lot of credit to them. They made shots. They shot a high percentage for the game, 48% from the field, 48% from three. So when teams are shooting it like that, it's hard to beat. And I felt like a lot of times we had a hand up. We gave them some easy baskets because, they're a really good team. They're really well coached. And Coach Waters over there is doing a great job. First year coach with them. They haven't had a lot of success recently, but she's finding a way to win. She's finding a way to be in games, and that's a tough team. So we got to see them 2 more times, and we'll be ready the next 2 times. So, and just ask Taylor a little bit, about her thoughts on the Tallahassee game, any positives, negatives that you took from the game the other day.
I think we shot it well. We came out on top in that. We were definitely attacking the paint really well. We got to the free throw line, a lot. Yeah. Defense, like he said, it definitely could have been better. We needed a little spark on that end, but we came out with the win, so that's all we can ask for.
And I think free throws was a huge one. We only took 11 threes, which, made 5-11, which is a really good percentage. We knocked down the ones we saw, but, if we don't get to the free throw line and put pressure on the paint, we're not the same team. So I really like that about our group. We're down a couple players. Sela Mulder has been out with an appendix. We got a couple other kids that are injured and dealing with sickness and stuff like that. So it's been tough. We're piecing it together. I thought it was really good to see Taylor the other night shoot it well, but she had a bigger defensive assignment. With people out, she had to guard their best player, their leading scorer, and did a really good job. Taylor finished with 28 and 8. Played about 35 minutes and barely saw any time on the bench. So worked really hard, and that was good. And then we had Serena Herron doing her typical double-double. She had 16 and 10 in 33 minutes. And then the one really exciting thing is Jada Redwine coming back, having a breakout game, 16 points, 7 rebounds. 6 assists and 2 steals. So, she's been waiting to have a game like this. We've been waiting on her to have a game like this, and it's really nice to have her back in the starting lineup right now, too. So, glad to have her back. Ariel Faison gave us 10 points. Ari's always been a scorer. And that's the good thing about Ari is when we're having trouble or if we're playing a team that is guard-oriented, Ari's always that relief. Get in there and score, be able to run the point, defends well. So, it's good to see her have, a good game the other night as well. Looking forward, actually, no, not looking forward, but asking you, you've played 3 Panhandle games now, going into your 4th, so you've seen Northwest on film. Just your thoughts on Panhandle Conference and the competition.
I definitely think it's what everyone said it was. Everyone comes to compete. Everybody wants to win, and especially with us, everyone wants to bring their best selves out every night that we're with them. So it's definitely been a shift from the regular season for me, but I think we're good.
Well, and you put the number 1 target on your back too, and it kind of adds to it. So we've got a long way to go. I'm glad we're sitting at number 1 right now. It's a big honor. You guys deserve it for the hard work. But again, it matters in March. We want to be number 1 after the national tournament, and we're not satisfied. So one thing I do want to say, you've only had 1 road conference game at Gulf Coast, which was probably our best game of the season in terms of how hard we played, defensive intensity, and then, had a good offensive game as well. But this will be your 2nd road game. You're going to get that full experience here in about a month where you played on the road everywhere in the conference and dealt with, the fans and the referees and things like that. Now, update us a little bit on your recruiting. I'll throw it out there, the offers that you have. Jacksonville has offered, Georgia Southern has offered, Florida Atlantic, Fresno State, along with maybe 5 to 10 others that have interest or are reaching out right now. But just give us an update on your recruiting, what you're thinking, what you're looking for and your mindset with all that.
It's I won't say it's not a huge focus of mine right now, but it's definitely there. I do want to focus on the team winning, and that's going to get myself and a lot of my teammates in a better position when it comes to recruiting and where we go next year. I'm just looking for a community, a great team dynamic, good character in the coaches and the people I'm going to be around wherever I go.
Well, and tell us, where have you visited so far?
I've visited Florida Atlantic, Jacksonville, and Georgia Southern.
Okay, so we got a few more to do, and we had a couple big calls last night that we're probably going to take some visits and get a few more offers here in the next few days. So, that to me is the biggest piece. Like if we win, we get you guys to the next level, and obviously you guys take care of your academics here. That's the most important thing, moving these kids on and starting their careers. So, now what are going to be some of the important factors in your decision making when you're looking for a school, you're talking to a coach? What's going to be most important for you?
Definitely a winning culture. I've gotten pretty used to winning here under Coach Rolls, so it's something I'd like to continue wherever I go next and hopefully be a big role in doing that. Wherever I go, I do want to play. I do want to be an impact player and, like I said, just be able to do what I can, be around good people.
Now, as far as a degree you'll be pursuing at the next level, what are you looking to study?
I'm looking to study psychology. Probably sports psychology would be more so what my career would be.
Okay. Well, I think everybody we're talking to so far has that, so we can move on there. So now, as far as Panhandle, we talked about the big battle for number 1 tomorrow. For the Panhandle, sit at the top. Again, top 5 matchup, 1 versus 4. The other piece there is the defending national champs. We were able to beat them in the state tournament last year at their place. They were able to go on to Casper and win the national tournament. So it's a big game tomorrow. Not a big drive for everybody. So hopefully you got some free time tomorrow. Able to get over there to Niceville. I think we play at 2:00. So we'd love to have everybody out there. Boys to follow. I think that's another top 10 to top 15 matchup. So, all the fans we can get, we'd love to have you. Again, appreciate everybody, all your support and coming to the home games. But we'll try to keep this thing going and really appreciate you guys. Thank you.